Michigan Replay with Gary Moeller and Jim Brandstatter.
Interceptions, Jim, and then the penalty. Then Wheatley got rolling, and I think he has a series of runs here of 15, and then he'll come back with another one.
You kept it on the ground against him. You didn't go up top. Why?
Well, Jim, 300 yards rushing is just about impossible against Michigan State. And Wheatley, I think, got 170. So you can control the ball, you help your defense, and you don't give them any big opportunity. There's Wheatley going in for the score.
First quarter, that makes it 7-0.
Right.
You got to be
really
feeling...
should add 2 scores in there some way, either a field goal, but we threw that interception.
So you got to be feeling pretty decent about it. They come back and give you the ball right back.
Walker gets a big interception, and now we're going to come back and we use Wheatley again, but Jim, we end up getting a big penalty right after this, which puts us out of scoring position. And again, you can't hurt yourself.
And you go back in again, coming into the second quarter, 3rd and 13. You didn't throw the ball real well, but you did hit a couple when you needed to.
Right, big passes. Elvis hit some big passes here. Tony McGee down the middle, later Feldman, Malvo. Then we come back on 3rd and goal, and Jesse sweeps the right end there. That was scary, too, because we got 1st and goal on the 1 and jumped off sides, and I think there was some extracurricular talking there.
Anyway, you get the 14-0 lead, and then your special teams and Derek Alexander really get the crowd going.
Right, and we're capable of this, and Derek's got good speed, as you're going to see here, and once he gets loose, he's going to go all the way. And very exciting for him, and I know he shows a lot of enthusiasm here, but he didn't have the kind of game he wanted 2 years ago, and he was looking forward to this one.
21-0 at this point, and you're moving along, and again, the ground game is going great for you, and that was a bit of a surprise.
Yeah, I think we blocked better, Jim, and then our backs got the leveling off, and we run Jesse in there, and here we had Derek on a flat pass, puts on a good move there, showing good running ability for a big gain. Those kind of passes really help. Then we give it to Wheatley again, and he gets out here for about 8 to 10 yards.
He was running strong again today, and the depth at tailback's very important. Ricky Powers didn't even play.
Very important, and I didn't play Ricky because of an ankle injury he had. And then Bernie Leggett goes over from the 1, making it 28-0, and you're in the driver's seat now. Your defense is playing well, but here's 2 crucial mistakes. We have a young man jump off sides, which gives them the ball again, and they get an opportunity to go down and score. And in this drive, Jim, we're going to show there's a penalty of a personal foul, which actually gives them some life at halftime.
Well, that 4th and 4 punt, when you're offsides, give them a 1st down. And on this play, a 2nd down, you stop them with a short gain, but you get the roughing the passer call. That gets them down in the range, and now they're going to kick a field goal late in the half.
Right, and we've done this practically in every game, and I can't figure it out. We give a team who we have down well momentum going into the locker room, and if the one thing you don't want to do after you get somebody down is give them a little hope.
28-3 at the half. I know you're not ready to say the game's over. What did you say at half?
Well, I just told them, we had to do some things we have to do better. Now, if we keep playing defense like we're playing, we're going to be in great shape. And I said, honestly, defense, there's no way you should give up 25 points and let them get back in this game. And they didn't. They played well.
All right, the second half, of course, is a great defensive performance by Michigan, but Michigan State played well too. But one of the Michigan kids we'll hear from before we come back is a guy who changed positions and had a great day against the Spartans.
Well, it's really not too different from what I've been doing. For the nickel package, that's where I line up anyway. It was just on our base defense is where I had to move out. The big thing is switching coaches. It's just it's just a mental shift, trying to prepare with a different coach. We definitely got off the ball well, and we got in his face, and we feel responsible for a lot of the coverages, because we get in his face. He didn't have a lot of time to throw, and it helps our secondary.
That was definitely a dogfight. There's no doubt about it. It was a tough. They weren't giving an inch, and anything we got, we definitely deserved. We had to run the ball and run hard.
Sounds like Michigan State, doesn't it? Rob Dorey talking about it being a Donnybrook. Well, that's Michigan State, and coming out for the second half, 28-3 lead. It sounded pretty comfortable, but you knew it wasn't going to be. Not with the Spartans. They don't have much quit.
No, and you always worry about breaking big plays. See, Tico Duckett and Craig, the other tailback, had both had big games the week before and had some long plays. And that's where I credit our defense the most, not giving up the big play.
Talk about Duckett. He breaks one on their first possession.
Right, first possession, they sealed it inside. And here he's got great speed, Jim. We miss the tackle there, he spins, and then we get him down.
And this is after you got the ball and didn't do anything with it. So this is a big series for them. You get a big play here defensively from Matt Dyson.
Matt Dyson comes off the corner unblocked, caused a fumble, and fortunately for them and unfortunately for us, they recovered it.
Now you come back, you got the ball, and again, staying on the ground for the most part, and you move the ball pretty well, your second possession, but it doesn't turn out.
The third downs came up on us and hurt us. Now here Elvis has to scramble a little bit, does a good job getting the ball to Monty Toomer for a first down. We pick up about 4 yards, and then on 3rd and 6, we're going back here. Elvis gets caught from behind, and the guy knocked the ball loose and actually recovered it all in one move. That gives them great field position.
And it gives them momentum. You go to the fourth quarter, they're 3rd and 5, and they go for the home run ball and hit it.
Right, we had a blitz on there, and we didn't get home. And a young defender there turned around and looked. If he'd have stayed with the ball, I think he'd have made that play. The coverage wasn't all that bad, but you got to give Miller and Coleman from them good credit. Here's Elvis stepping up, throwing well. Feldman Malvo makes an excellent catch. That was a big play for us.
Yeah, that was a big play because it's 28-10. Then you go to a reverse, and Walter Smith just does a great job here.
Right, he did a good job running the ball. Walter has that ability. He was a running back in high school. We got to get the ball to him a little bit more so he can get loose.
Now this is a sequence where you had all kinds of problems inside the 10. There were some unnecessary roughness calls, and then you throw the interception.
Big penalties, and we just threw behind him here. We got to get the ball out in front of him. He was down there, and he keeps running with the ball, and we get a lot of extracurricular activity. But Jim, as you indicate, we're down the 8-yard line ready to score, and we get a major penalty. We had too many penalties that really hurt us. And the other thing is we had 2 interceptions. We have to stay away from those.
They come out from their own goal line, do a good job, get the ball out there, get in on 3rd down, and then Miller comes back on another 3rd down, and it gets pressured big time, and then you get the big play.
Throws it, and Marcus Walker tackles their tight end in good shape there, so we're in pretty good field.
Well, the key to that is you never let them get out of a real serious problem. When they tried to go on 3rd down and long, you were always able to stop them short of the first down.
Right. There, Alexander is coming around to reverse after we run Wheatley.
This is a 4th down play.
Right, this is a 4th down. The one thing I liked about that play, Jim, I knew one thing. I had a chance of it going, okay, and getting the first down, but more importantly, it was going to eat up a lot of clock because when you run a reverse. Here we do a good job. Corwin Brown comes up and hits our tight end. He fumbles the ball, and we recover the ball.
And that's a big recovery because it's still 28-10. The ball game's still tight. And you have a chance to put it away, and then Tyrone Wheatley responds.
Right, this is one of Wheatley's best runs because he made an excellent cut in there. Excellent cut. Then he leveled it off and ran through 2 would-be tacklers. And that was an exciting way, really, to end the game for him because there's so many things he's learning like a lot of young players are.
35-10, the final, and yet looking at the highlights, looking at what happened, it wasn't a blowout that 35-10 would indicate. It was a tough game.
No, and the other thing is we aren't going to win every game 50-3 like a lot of people think, and we do have an opponent out there, and you have to give them some credit. Now, there are definitely things we're going to get straightened out, throwing interceptions, and the other thing, we got to cut down on our penalties, and I can't believe what's happening in that respect.
Okay, the penalties, obviously, the passing game you got to work on, I would think. That's something that I think you were not real pleased with on Saturday. One of the things I heard walking out of the stadium is, what about the play calling? You stayed on the ground. You went to a conservative approach. Was that by design?
Well, it's like I'd never jerk a guy, or I don't think any of us were. It's got a no-hitter going in a game. If your defense is hot, you got to help them. And the key way to help them, if you can, run the ball, eat up the clock, okay, which we kept the ball for 20 minutes of the 30 the second half, and let them play good when they're out there and keep them fresh. I think that's only smart. Why try to do something that's going to give them an interception, possibly run it back? So, no, I don't think we were. And Jim, to rush for 300 yards is pretty impressive.
Also, Saturday's game seemed to be a bit more chippy than past Michigan State games. Were there more emotions running higher? Did the referees let it get out of control a little bit?
Yeah, I got a chance to talk to a few of the players, but not in any depth, and that's something we'll definitely check into. I don't like that. I don't think that that's the way football should be played. And I'm sure we're going to get that corrected. And we got to understand, and the hard thing about a young man, if something's happening in there and somebody doing something to you, okay, you cannot retaliate, because if you do and they catch you, Now we suffer the consequence. So if you're a true team player, you have to walk away from those things, which is hard to do.
Hard to do. Although Michigan walked away with a 35-10 victory over Michigan State, and that was the important statistic. Don't go away. We've got more coming your way on Michigan Replay. And before we get to our segment on graduate assistants, I want you to talk to the quarterback of the Wolverines about that tough one against the Spartans.
It was a tough, hard-fought game, and it came down to the trenches. And we just dominated up front. Our offensive line just dominated their defensive front. And, they got kind of frustrated at the end, and there was a couple fights here and there, but they couldn't take it up front. And we just dominated there, and that's the way we won the game.